Do a recap of something that is very important to me. I think I've mentioned it a few times here in previous videos about law of attraction, and I recently talked about that even on Facebook. Um, but I just want to talk about we vibrate on different levels. And what I mean by that is frequencies. Some of us operate on low frequencies and high frequencies. Um, all of us um, have chakras, and I believe there's either 7 or 12. I am still learning as I go with these chakras. But basically, they're energy and forces of us that we radiate, we operate, we have each color, each coordinated. Like, for example, I'm not very accurate on a lot of my information about chakras, but I do know like red identifies with a very high vibration, which is the root chakra. Has to do with our heart. Each color that we wear from day in and day out has to do with an energy and what energy we're projecting out or radiate, Um, a lot of times, um, not a lot of times, but a lot of times people operate on a very low frequency and they're not seeing eye to eye with that other person. Um, just of this year, I've come to understand that more and more as I'm studying about chakras. If you don't know what chakras are, you can always do your own personal research. Um, I'm just here to share my different understandings of what I know about chakras, a law of attraction, vibration. Um, but basically, where I'm coming from is to give you the information that I have been receiving for myself. Um, Taking a pause a moment. Like I said, we all operate from a low and high frequency. Some people um, don't realize they're doing this. Um, sometimes it's very difficult when it comes to how we perceive the world, how we perceive ourselves. Um, but honestly, some things people may not realize that they're doing in different scenarios, different cases. And so, what I want to inform all of you is that take a step back and where are you coming from? And like what I say a lot on this channel, are you coming from a bad vibe? Are you coming from a bad intention? A bad air about you? When you're trying to talk with someone about what you believe, your concept on the world, just so many things in that instance. Now, when I'm talking about a high frequency, I'm talking about, okay, there's the lower vibration and the higher vibration. The higher vibration sees more of a better logic sense and a better understanding of who they are as a person. They are the people that really are in tune with their body. And I know a lot of people, it's hard, especially it can go either way, but from a general standpoint, it's really hard when you yourself have grown in a type of a way of life that some of you may have not been able to express yourself as a child. So growing up, you tend to guard yourself. You tend to block yourself from really expressing yourself. I know in general, a lot of guys have that issue when it comes to expressing themselves because some guys' motives, they don't want to hurt the females' um, opinion. Now, some guys could care less, but that's a different story on this concept. But um, it's very hard to express yourself if you tend to have your feelings on your shoulder, or you block your feelings, or it goes in but then it goes out. And it's like you don't really want to focus on too much how you feel, and that's fine. But like I was saying, the higher fragrance you are, you're more in tune with your body, more in tune with your emotion, you're more in tune with how you see the world. But when you come from a lower vibration, like some of us at each point have, we're blocked, like our heart chakra is not open. And so we see the world from only our standpoint, and we block that heart chakra. And when we learn to manage those feelings, and we learn to manage and open our heart a little bit to the world around us, I'm not saying you have to get into everything, but open our heart. Let the blood flow. Let our heart be open to the world as a whole, as seeing each things from each side and each point of view and religion and everything. And a lot of what I'm talking about has to do with our third eye. When it is blocked, when we do not have the conscience open and expanding, a lot of this you can do on your own setting. I'm not trying to say you have to do this. I'm just saying, just sharing. That's basically what I'm doing, sharing for you to take it as you feel. But when we don't have our third eye, basically what our third eye is, our conscience, not so much our conscience, but it's more of like before I had my third eye, in which I feel like awakening, because nowadays a lot of the people don't have their third eye open, or they're not awakening, but we are awakening in some ways. Um, but I feel like the time frame, it was about last year, I had this dream about a different, or not different eyes, but like I had these hands that had eyes, and there was eyes on hands, and they were laughing at me. And then shortly after that, I started seeing things more clearly. And a lot of what you can do to open your third eye is through meditation and just centering yourself. And a lot of times, like one of the things that has helped me, internal work and stuff, is through meditation. And there are a lot of information out there, if you don't know what I'm talking about, that could help you with that, just by looking it up. But different music, and if you haven't noticed, and different music has different levels of frequencies. So if you're listening to calm, relaxing music, it gives that serenity feeling. If you're listening to pounding hard metal, it's giving that vibration of where you're either angry, upset, and sometimes people love that type of music. Don't get me wrong, but each type of wavelength of music gives off that vibration. A harp music gives very serene and relaxing type of music. Like drums, it keeps you pacing. A lot of drums can be positive. It just depends on the way it's drumming. Um, and then you get the very classical music, and it's just you're in kind of like a dream world and stuff. But basically what I'm saying is, a lot of times we may not be seeing how we come across to others. And that's fine. We're all on this path of our own and own journey in life, and it's up to us where the wavelength of our frequency is going. Are we being positive, or are we coming from a lower vibration and negativity? And that's basically what I'm talking about. Lower and higher is positive, negative. And you just have to check in with yourself and see where your motives are, see where your intentions are. And others are really good at this. Um, just ask someone very close to you, what kind of person do you feel like I'm um, acting like towards you? Do you think I feel controlling? Do you think I seem all into myself and my surroundings, self-absorbed or controlling? People will, 99% of the people will be honest with you. You're like, you're a little controlling here in this situation, or you're very positive. And all of us, if we're really honest, all of us do radiate at different levels, of course, but we all have the conscience of God within us to know what we need to be doing. And if people come at us with their ideas, that's on them and their experiences and their programming and where they're coming from. So, one thing we have to remember is to be in tune and touch with our emotions. And that could be a dangerous thing and a scary thing all at once. I'm like, in tune with myself. I don't really want to be in tune with myself. But when we look within and see where is our energy flowing. I love that saying. Someone recently told me about it. They feel like a lot of times woe is me, and it's like it made me stop and think. You know, energy flows where attention goes. A lot of times we can get in that cycle of woe is me and thinking we're less than important, or we're just nothing's going our way. But when we center ourselves, basically when we get in tune with who we are, really are, and where do we want to put our energy out, it does this effect where it centers us. So that's something I wanted to share with you all. And I just hope in some way I can be of help to you guys. And I hope you have a blessed day. Bye.